I feel you burn all over me. One hit of you is all I need.
Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. Colour and passion just oozing from the stands here. These fans love their football. Well, this is the perfect game for all parties, not least the neutrals who've just come to enjoy it.
Well, on the face of it, Peter, we would appear to have a high-caliber meeting with very little at stake. But then you consider a chance for one or two of the fringe players to get a look in, and this becomes a big incentive. It changes the dynamic. So there's plenty at stake for them, which...
It's like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun.
So we're up and running. Jim, you've played in games of this nature. Who can make the difference?
This guy, Ruben Neves, has an eye for the spectacular, but his main role is to be that pivot in midfield, doing all the dirty, ugly work that goes unnoticed, and he'll be covering a lot of ground in front of his defence, something he's very good at, in fact. But every now and again, he'll throw in a humdinger.
Well, quite no argument from me on that one. Ruben Dias, Vitinha, Ruben Dias, João Cancelo looks to get on the end of this. João Neves, and it's Mendes. He is just caressing the ball. And he's heaved it away. Moved on forwards. He's in plenty of space here. Ruben Dias with the clearance. Now then, the ball's come loose. Ronaldo spread out to the left, and they can counter here. Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Cristiano Ronaldo! What a wonderful goal!
What a super start, a total shocker for the opponents. Talk about how to wrestle control. That's how you do it.
And that really is so impressive.
Yeah, having the thrust to get there is one thing, having the composure to score is another.
Colombia are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. Sanchez goes forward. Now it's Cordoba. Oh, great chance. Oh, well played. He needed to get that right. Oh, that looks a good ball through. And no, that is pretty much the end of that. That's good play. Out to the left it goes. Cross in, looks like a good one. Munoz, played into the middle. Here comes another cross. That's a corner kick. Mendes can get it clear. Quintero. And here's Diaz. Munoz. Plenty waiting in the middle. Lovely bit of skill. Aimed in towards the centre. Rafael Leao.
Portugal, but Peter, look how far up the fullbacks are getting now. This is really high.
And constantly after the ball, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they're weighing up their options to see how long they can sustain this and suppress those wide opposition players.
Munoz looking to hit the byline here. Up he goes! Ruben Diaz attempts a clearance. And it's Quintero. And there's the shot! A collective sigh of relief from the defence. Gonzalo Inacio. Ruben Diaz. Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves forwards and with intent. Lofted upfield. Oh, can he get onto this? Nice physical challenge. Ruben Neves, aim forwards. Quintero. Cordoba. Diaz. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. That'll be a throw. And it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Vitinha. Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. Driven forward, is onto it in a flash. João Neves. Nuno Mendes. Great ball if he can get there. Cristiano Ronaldo. Not the worst cross in the world, but still room for improvement. Pressing's intense, and it's paid off. Vitinha. Over to the left. Nuno Mendes. Now it's Cristiano Ronaldo. Rafael Leao, who does have an assist to his name. Pedro Neto! Oh, that was no routine save.
I think he's done great there, both reading it and dealing with it.
Cleared away. Mendes delivers the ball. That has been knocked clear. He can get that clear. It's a throw-in. Nuno Mendes. Rafael Leao. Vitinha. João Cancelo. Vitinha. In by Cancelo. Oh, what a climb! This time, surely! He scores! And there we have it, the two-goal cushion. Really tidily gathered and ultimately a more than tidy finish.
That's shocking. The ease with which he was able to get into the space, and a player of his quality was highly unlikely to miss that.
Portugal, and the whistle goes for half-time. Any opinion you'd like to express on the first half?
Well, I think things have worked out pretty well so far, Peter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I think the manager has to resist change at this stage.
Here we go again then.
Well, I think they have to be positive despite the scoreline. The one thing they don't want to do, Peter, is give away an early goal. But they can't afford to get too cagey either. So attack with real devilment, go for that goal and see if they can unsettle them.
Gonzalo Inacio. Inacio played out to the left flank. And that could set him on his way. And that was very necessary. Munoz. And it's Munoz. Quintero. Lerma. Quintero. Now it's Lerma. He's had a shot! Oh, taken with style. The second half sparks straight into life.
Colombia, the danger was always there, Peter. We all knew they'd be pouncing on any slip or any sort of indecision. They need to sharpen up or it's going to happen again.
Colombia get themselves back into contention.
What a difference a half-time rocket from the manager can make. This is exactly the response he'd be looking for.
And it's played forward. Ruben Diaz. Gonzalo Inacio. That's really well manoeuvred. Machado cuts out the pass. Machado shifted upfield. Diaz. That's a good run down the left. Now who's going to be first to this? Nuno Mendes. It's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Diaz. Diaz stood his ground strongly. Shoots!
Well, it's definitely the right attitude and application, Peter. They've got to keep pushing.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Aim forwards. Now that's well seen too. Ruben Diaz. Nuno Mendes. Munoz. And it's played forward. A heavy challenge. Nothing wrong with that tackle. Ball won cleanly. And here's Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's Vitinha. And the assistant referee rightly gives him offside. Rafael Leao. Nuno Mendes.
Colombia may only be one behind, but they're showing much in terms of threatening parity.
Moved on forwards. And they'll start all over again with the goalkeeper. Gonzalo Inacio. Vitinha, João Neves, Vitinha forwards and with intent, and he's found a way past. Pedro Neto, and it's lofted for Judge, surely! Really well taken goal.
Yeah, the touch before the finish is so often the critical part, and we've just seen an example.
Clinical, just clinical. What a game this is turning out to be for him.
Well, he's been on a crusade, and his first goal seemed to just whet the appetite.
That has changed the dynamic somewhat.
You can certainly sense a real change of mood here. Now the crowd are demanding that they just finish this off.
Great defending, strong and determined. Ruben Neves. And that's the end of that. It all started well enough. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking. Well, that is not the best ball, and he offers an apologetic look.
Well, that's down to a simple miscalculation. No more, no less.
Now it's Cordoba. Tries a shot! And no, he couldn't find the finish.
And how decisive might that prove, Peter? It really would have put the wind in their sails if they were just one down, as opposed to two.
So now we're going to get those changes we have been expecting.
Well, for me, this was the obvious substitution. He'd become just a little jaded, and as a result of that, he was most likely to make a mistake. I think sometimes when the body becomes tired, the brain goes with it, and I think that's happened in this case.
That's very neat. Can he deliver? Now there's the header! Ruben Dias is there, and he can get that clear. Quintero. Out to the right. Lerma. Well read, and the danger is averted. And the counter is on. So there's going to be another change here.
Well, his stamina was called into question then, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with his heart and the efforts he put in. He was very willing, though, not quite able.
And it's Munoz. Munoz. It's run loose here. Quintero. Machado. And that's really well manoeuvred. Expertly cut out, really nicely done. He's in, surely!
Diogo Dalot.
Vitinha.
Diogo Dalot.
João Neves. Ruben Dias, shifted upfield. And it's played forward. Quintero. Juan Quintero, gently done. And the referee brings it to a close. Well, that was a frustrating game. They were, at times, cohesive, very capable, but undone by an opponent who simply did a better job. Well, after all of that, Jim, what are you thinking?
Colombia didn't quite recover from the early blow, Peter. After